welcome back to another episode of the Entertaining Stupid Podcast. My name's Buddy Jayson, and my friend with me this week is...
Sylvan, yay!
Yay! And it's just the two of us because it's kind of last minute. Nobody really answered the group text too well.
And I'm always at home, so I don't have an excuse.
Yeah. Again, I don't have a whole lot planned for these anymore because of school and work.
Yeah,
and
fair.
Everything. So we're gonna shoot the shit. Sylvan, how you doing today?
I'm doing great.
Okay. You get up to anything this week?
Not really.
I find that's probably that's the most common answer nowadays.
Yeah, you can't do anything after work.
Yeah. You just come home and kind of just sit at your computer and play video games or something like that.
It's gotten to the point where I've had to come home and go to my bedroom and lock my door because Dan immediately wants to talk because he's been alone all day. So he's his introvert levels are he has a little energy for being extrovert, wants to talk to people. And then me, who spent all day at work, has no energy for that, and he'll just open my door and talk to me. So I have to lock my door now.
That's funny. It's like coming home to a child. It's like I don't want to.
Sometimes it really is, yeah.
I don't want to deal with you. Yeah.
Where's your mom?
Other than that, I come home and maybe pop on some music or something, just have it on in the background and just try and relax.
I mean, in between the work and school, you don't really have much time for that.
Exactly, or I try to study with it in the background just to keep me in a happy mood, because music does that for you.
Yeah.
Especially if you have the right playlist to get you in a mood for studying or to really boost you back up.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of amazing how music ties to just emotional state. You could have pump up jams when you're working out. You could have just lo-fi beats to study to on YouTube that just runs 24/7. Then for when you're an angsty teenager, just throw in some My Chemical Romance.
My Chemical Romance, Blink 182.
The OGs.
Yeah, that what is it? That emo hairstyle where you just got that little the flip. Right over your...
Did you just roar at my girlfriend, XD? Oh fuck. But yeah, even just thinking back to OGs, there are still some bands or even just certain songs that you listen to and you just are immediately back to when that first came out.
Yeah, because first pumping it in your friend's basement on a Friday night.
Or the one that comes really to mind is the playlist you found on Spotify when we were in New Zealand, or that you actually you.
No, that one I curated. I made that playlist because it was just I think it was the couple of months beforehand. I was just going through and listening to all the recommended stuff from Spotify, and it was I like that, I like that, I like that. And we just kept adding it, and then yeah, we went to New Zealand, and it was because. I think it was because we didn't really have a whole lot of data, and it was a playlist that was saved on my phone. It was the only music that we really had,
other than the radio in the car.
Yeah.
But yeah, I still have the playlist, and when I hear "Landslide" by Oh Wonder, I'm literally in the back of the car, and we're driving through that would have been between New Plymouth and Wellington.
Yeah, when we were up in those windy
in the mountains,
roads.
Yeah, the windy Oh man, just immediately back there. Or actually, let's go back to that one. What other one was it? It was "Soap" by Melanie Martinez. Inside Wellington, the day we arrived.
Yeah,
it's just vivid.
It's wonderful that you're able to do that kind of stuff with music, and that playlist. Oh fuck! I don't think I even have that playlist anymore. I think it's gone off of my stuff, so I might have to grab that off of you at some point.
I've got most of it. I think there's a couple of songs that I was whatever, but I've got most of it. I'll set up a list and send it to you and Ray.
Yeah, because man, that trip was super fun.
Oh God!
I think I think that playlist really did sort of fit the feel and the beat of our entire trip there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
Kudos, Jason. You did good.
Thank you. Yeah. It's interesting that music can always take you back because like what was that trip like 6 7 years ago?
It was 2015, maybe 2014, November 2014, I think.
November 2014,
Because I think I bought my house in
2015.
2015, I think.
Okay, yeah. So about 7 years ago.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, and the fact that you just pop on that playlist and you get that feeling again. You can imagine sitting in the back seat while we're all driving through those windy roads. It's cool. It's a good thing to have those sort of things to pull you back to remember that kind of stuff.
I mean, even when you just like need a break and you're just like you're overwhelmed with like, especially with you with work and school, if you just like cannot be where you are, not be thinking about what you're doing right now, and just like it's like for like the next 20 minutes, I'm in New Zealand. Like I'm so done with all my problems. I just need to escape. And it's just the perfect way to do that.
Yeah. Okay. Now, question is, does Christmas music do anything for you?
Not really. My mom's really into Christmas music. It's
Yeah.
like for me, the Christmas is the lights, not so much the music. It's
Yeah,
like when
it's more of a visual thing for me too, like the snow, the Christmas lights, the frosted windows and stuff like that. Uh, I don't like it when it's November 1st and there's Christmas music blaring over the sound system at the mall, at the grocery
yeah,
store. Like, come on, Christmas is December.
yeah. Mariah Carey's "All I Want for Christmas Is You."
Yeah, yeah, it spikes up November 1st and then dies fucking December 31st. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
but by Christmas Day, I'm done with Christmas music.
I have to say, most Christmas music is okay for me. My real jam, I don't know why, for Christmas at least, is that Boney M album. Their Christmas songs are fantastic.
I don't know it.
Yeah, yeah. Very, very sort of like a little more like more strict, like religious Christmas
Okay.
songs. So I don't know why. I love them. Yeah, yeah. Um, I want to get your opinion on something.
Okie dokie, shoot it to me.
It's about the depravity of the internet. Just because I've seen some things that happened in the last week that really, really brought some interesting questions to mind.
I'm scared.
I don't know if you've noticed over the small section of the internet that is Reddit. There were two major sort of arguments I came across.
Okay.
The first one is about fantasy characters like D&D and stuff like that. It's whether female lizard folk have breasts. Because if you think about it, lizards don't need memories. Right? So the internet was arguing whether the theoretical fantasy characters would have boobs. And like it was such a heated debate from all the comments that I read. And it just made me think like, wow, the internet was created and like we can share all these news and see all these videos and stuff like that, and there's just this group, this small group that just gets to vocalize these thoughts that people would have just had in passing before. Like some guy would have thought about it, not really asked it, and just like moved on with his life. But because we have the internet, he just types it out, and all of a sudden it just fucking blows up in the comments, and it's like, well, do the lizard people do have boobs or not?
Are you asking me whether they have boobs or not, or like the whole like what my opinion is on the whole situation?
Well, a bit of both, I guess. First off, do you think lizard people have boobs?
Um, in the strictest sense, no. But it's fantasy. It can be what you want. Like, and also that would come about to like the context of the story. Are lizard folk more towards the humanoid
Lizard.
side,
Yeah.
or are they more towards lizards? Like, there's a lot of ifs in that situation. But as far as the actual like scope of the conversation, shit like that used to just be like you keep those thoughts to yourself because they were looked down upon. Because like if you asked that question, everyone knew that it was you who asked that question.
Yeah.
On the internet, it's like, balls deep 69. He asked that question, but I don't know who he is. He's just one hell of a fucked up guy. So like anonymity leads to weird questions like that, and then with that is probably a lot of trolling because like when someone asks a weird question like that, immediately you go like, he can't be actually serious. Like this is just like a throwaway. Like, so obviously I'm gonna overreact, and then I hope he overreacts until it just devolves into chaos because chaos is fun.
Yeah, yeah, it is. It's just like there's that kind of sort of chaos, and then another thing happened. I don't know if you saw this one. Was someone had modified a scene from Big Hero 6.
Yeah, I did see that.
And that blew up like crazy. and for context for people listening, it's just Big Hero 6 is a Disney animated film, right? It's a great movie. I love it.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
Great comic too. And what this one guy did was, in one scene where the ant is speaking to the main hero, the guy just cuts a little bit more out of the cleavage from her shirt or something like that. And
Yeah, he just like Photoshop big mommy milkers on her.
yeah, that just blew up. And oh man, that was funny to see the internet just react to just the slightest modification to that scene, and it's like, holy fuck.
There was two sides to that, like two major camps. One was it can go looter, like
I mean, it's Rule 34, right?
it's Rule 34, and then the other side was like we have to protect everything. We can't have this. So like the two sides were fighting. Like every time a new picture would pop up from like the depraved side, they would Photoshop like Optimus Prime in front of it, or like or the Emperor from Mankind, or like the Space Marines.
Yeah.
Where like no time for this. Only we don't have time for heresy or things like that.
Yeah, and oh man, it was fucking funny. And then there went I saw like a big long discussion about characters from Disney movies, because like if you look at, I guess, yeah, the ant from Big Hero 6, but then there's always been talks about like the mom from The Incredibles and other stuff like that, where it's like, damn, they're thick girls.
It's Pixar and Disney moms. I don't know why they're all drawn the same way.
Yeah.
Just thick as fuck.
Yeah, I don't know why they're done like that, but I think it's maybe shaped the interests of the current generation.
Yeah, to an extent. There was another like argument I saw kind of on that was they redesigned Lola Bunny.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
For the new Space Jam.
Yeah, they redesigned her a little bit, and the furry side of the internet was not happy.
Yeah. I've yet to see anything come from that there, so I don't know what the new design looks like, but
well, the top comment made me laugh because like they took away any sort of like boob, because like before Lola Bunny had like curves, but the top comment was, well, at least they still left her with a dump truck ass.
Yeah. She was she's walking around in that crop top in Space Jams, and
yeah. 8-year-old me did not know what to do with that information, but he watched that movie a lot.
Yeah, so the internet's kind of fucked up in certain places. We can go from, news of Texas reopening to arguments of people complaining about what like a fictional character should look like.
Yeah. Or even not even just on Reddit, on like YouTube, you can like search a video, and then in like the recommended side, you can click 8 to 10 times and be like somewhere that you did not even know existed, and you're scared and alone.
Yeah, so we just talked about this Lola Bunny thing, and I'm scrolling through Reddit right now, and I see the picture.
Yeah, it's not a hard thing to find.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, they did, they did. Yeah, I can understand why the fans are angry. I can understand why the fans are
Yeah.
angry. But cartoons back in like the 90s and early 2000s didn't really have a whole lot of censorship. Because like
No.
I remember growing up and watching stuff like Ren and Stimpy.
Ren and Stimpy.
That shit was fucked up. Rocco's Modern Life was a little bit like that too. Let's see, Courage the Cowardly Dog had some weird visuals. Like, cartoons back then were just kind of fucked up.
It was a lawless time, and I
Yeah.
loved it.
Oh yeah, yeah, and like being like 12, 13 and watching like those late night cartoons.
Yeah.
Clone High.
Clone High, undergrads. What else was on at that time?
It would have been right around like the when YTV was doing all their like anime shit in the middle of the
Yeah.
night. Toonami or whatever it was called.
Yeah.
So you had like Inuyasha, what else was there? Gundam and all those other things. Oh. Yeah. Man, I kind of do miss all those old cartoons, and like I kind of want to go back and watch them, but I don't have a place to go and watch them anymore cuz like we're getting older, and nostalgia kind of hits us pretty hard sometimes, and like I want to go back and I want to watch Recess.
Recess was so
fantastic
good.
show. Yeah, that was a fantastic show. I want to go back.
Did that get a reboot?
No, I don't think so.
Hmm.
Ooh,
I'm actually kind of surprised it wouldn't, because it was incredibly popular.
Yeah, because like cartoons like Recess, The Weekenders, like I want to be able to go back and watch that kind of stuff, and I don't know where I can do that. Like who the hell owns the rights to that stuff?
I don't know, because like a lot of those, because I think I was actually watching, because I really like Clone High. Like that one was like one of my favorite cartoons growing up, and I was like, surely eventually they're gonna have to, go back to it. But I was watching like this, like not really a documentary, but someone like looked into it, and that cartoon, along with a lot of other cartoons in the 90s, were produced by multiple companies collaborating on something. So neither one technically owns the entire rights to anything. So like, and even then, like I think Clone High eventually, like through who bought what and who bought what and who bought what, part of it is owned by Sony and part of it is owned by someone else. So it can like essentially never be remade, because you'd have to get both of them to agree to collaborate on it again. It's just not happening.
Yeah.
Like, and like even like with where you're saying like you don't have places to go and watch these things, a lot of them is like who bought the rights to what, and like whether or not they want that on like whatever streaming platform there is, because there's so many now. Like, and we've talked about this before, like breaking up, like, because like usually you'd have everything all in one place, and then like with like say Friends got bought by whatever is on one platform, then like all these other platforms, like you have to get all of them just to be able to watch anything now. And that's the problem with like 90s cartoons. You have who's fighting for what on which platform, and who owns the rights to those works. And there's so many hands in that cookie jar that there's just no cookies left.
And it's sad for me, because I really do just want to go back and just Saturday morning just sit in my PJs and turn on whatever streaming service has all those cartoons and just start watching them again. Because man, those were simpler times when when we didn't have to be adults and weren't working full-time jobs and all these other stressful things in our lives.
Stupid taxes.
Yeah. Oh, right, it's tax season. Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. That's also another thing I never understood. Like taxes are a big fundamental part in adulthood, but no one tells you how to fucking do them.
Nope.
Like you just kind of get plopped into the working world, and all of a sudden the government demands money from you, and you're like, what?
Which sucks, because, like, granted, like, I didn't do well in school anyway, so I probably would have learned it anyway. But yeah, like the first couple years worth, like when I was working, I had no idea what I was doing, and like my dad like finally like sat me down and half-ass taught me how to do it, and I was like, I'm missing out on a lot of tax breaks that I could have been using.
And like to try and figure out if you qualify for all those tax breaks, it's like reading. Well, it is because they're like laws, but like you're reading through so many specific wordings, and you're like, what?
If this, like, that's what I learned in school for carpentry, because there's like the National Building Code book, and that is not like this is what you need to do. It is if something is greater than this, then this, if not this, and it's just like subsections on subsections where if this happens, this other thing. But there's also the special case, which is like way down the line that you got to find in case, like, you know, chimney bricking isn't exactly what you think it is, or it's not in the right spot. It's super hard. Like, lawyers shit is terrible.
Yeah. Do you think the internet's just given people just given a platform to just like the weirdest people?
Absolutely. Especially places like Facebook. There's a lot of people who have a platform who have no business having a platform.
Yeah, and like I guess it's because it's so weird that it gets brought up to the forefront and sort of like, you know, spotlighted by the media or people or something like that for just the sheer absurdity of, you know, what they're saying or what they're doing and stuff like that, and it kind of just it kind of skews a lot of what I see as sort of like news or like, you know, just like communication with the world in general, and then I find myself thinking like I have to go and say, slow down, this is just a small sect of, you know, reality. Like most people aren't
Florida man.
Yeah, they're not Florida man. They're not you know, they're not weebs, you know, they're not neckbeards and stuff like that. And it's just like, ooh, it's like okay, there are regular normal people out there. You just don't see them because they're not the ones getting the attention.
Yeah, well, the vocal minority, that they're always the one who has the spotlight. But what was I gonna say? Like the people who have those like, to the normal people, someone just spouting, you know, Jewish space lasers, people look at that and go, that person is insane. But what scares me is there's a lot of people who don't think that is insane, that is a normal thing to think.
And then all of a sudden, yeah, they start joining in on that kind of stuff, and you're like, huh, this may be dangerous.
Yeah, well, like the worst part for me is finding out like world news because memes. Like someone will make something, like I saw before I even read the Jewish space laser thing, I saw a picture of Bernie Sanders in his coat at the inauguration, inside, like photoshopped into like the, what is it, Star of David or whatever, the Jewish star. Yeah, and it was out in space shooting California. And I was like, the fuck is this? What is going on? And then throughout the comments, I realized that people are crazy.
Yeah, and it's weird that like that's how you get headlines and that's how you get news. Is someone makes a joke and you're like, oh, that's pretty funny, and then you go, oh, that's actually based on something.
That's horrifying.
That's terrifying.
Yeah.
Oh, like can you imagine if all news was brought to you like that?
There'd be a lot more sarcastic, cynical people.
Yeah, and like it's so hard to tell, you know, what's actually important and what's not.
Yeah.
What is it? NASA just recently launched a rover, I guess.
Yeah.
Another one there, and I never knew about it until I saw fucking memes about people complaining about the fact that, you know, they're only streaming video in 480p or whatever.
Yeah.
And, like, come on, guys, it's on Mars.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, it's just the little things that people can like fixate on and complain about, and then that gets amplified so much on the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Complaining about the 480p, goddamn it.
Yeah, and it's just like that's the thing that you're like that's what you're fixated on. Like, this rover is on another planet.
Yeah, thousands of kilometers away.
Thousands of kilometers away, and you're complaining. You're fixated on the fact that NASA can only broadcast at 480p.
Shit, I can't even watch streams from my room on Wi-Fi, let alone broadcast from another planet.
And like, just imagine like the input lag on all of that.
Oh god, even just like trying to control that rover, like people are mad having, you know, like half-second delay playing video games. You would have like a 30-second delay on every control input to that rover.
Yeah, and like yeah, I assume everything's like pre-programmed in, where it's like, okay, you're gonna drive, you know, X amount of kilometers or something like that, and drill a hole here or something.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, that's what people are fixated on. It's like when people complain that the ads on YouTube load better than the
actual video.
Than the actual video, and it's like, okay, all right.
I mean, but they're right. They have a point. They do load better.
Yeah, and it's in better quality too. You know, you watch an ad in full 1080p, and then all of a sudden your video loads in, you know, 240, 480 or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's,
auto. What is auto? Freaking bullshit. I know better internet than that.
Yeah. Oh, and then there's I think there's even something smaller than 240. It's like
144p. Yeah.
144p, and at that point you're just staring at like pixels, right?
Takes me back to the 90s.
Oh.
Please don't call grandma. Please don't call grandma. And my download stopped. God damn it.
Yeah.
18 hours down the drain.
Yeah, it's surprising to see, you know, this huge jump in technology, because I mean, fuck, Elon Musk is like sending cars into space for just random shits and giggles at this point, and then back then, you know, there's a lot of thought into you know, who can and what we should be dumping into space.
Yeah, I mean that is something, because like, you know, because there's a Tesla floating around the planet. If that collides with the International Space Station, that's a bit of a problem. That's a pretty penny. I don't think Elon Musk, even though he's got lots of money, I don't think he can finance that. But yeah, like when it comes to technology, it's I guess exponential. I guess like the faster one thing gets, then the faster the next thing comes out, and like it's like a curve that'll ramp straight up, and we're like here. 2 years from now, it could be up here.
Yeah, and
like
everything just compounds and builds on it. Once you get one breakthrough, you're going to use that to you know, process or come up with a whole different thing, and it's just gonna build and build and build.
Science is crazy. Even just like graphics cards, they're like, you know, slowly growing, you know, over the years, and then all of a sudden, just out of nowhere, just the 30 series, just like it like so much better in every way, and then cheaper until Bitcoin mining became a thing.
that's a whole nother thing that really kind of just confuses the fuck out of me, and the technology behind all of that. Like,
Yeah.
and the growth in all that too. Like, what is it? I saw a photo on the internet for like a StarCraft tournament.
Yeah,
all those
I
years
saw that
ago.
too.
It's like,
8
500
through
bucks,
10. Yeah.
500 bucks for the first place, and 25 Bitcoin for
For
fourth
like
place.
8th or 3rd.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something like that. And it's like,
Yeah.
huh, 25 Bitcoin now.
Is like over $1 million. But yeah, because like back then, 25 Bitcoin would have been worth like what?
Less than a penny or something.
Yeah, it would have been worth like nothing. But hey, you have this thing. I mean, granted, nobody probably kept that. Could you imagine being the guy who has a Bitcoin wallet with like 7,200 Bitcoin in it, but he cannot remember the password?
There's
And if
that.
he gets it wrong 2 more times, it gets deleted.
It wipes everything out. And then there's another guy who tossed out a hard drive full of Bitcoin, and he's digging through the landfill to try and find it. And he's buying sections of the landfill to sift through it all. And like the time and effort for a hopeful payoff is like,
I don't think it would be like if you could find it, absolutely. But
you're digging through a landfill.
I mean, but I mean, Bitcoin's worth like $61,500 right now.
He could be a billionaire if he finds it, but
like 7,200 Bitcoin. That's like over $400 million.
Yeah.
That's nothing to scoff at, but like that would be even more heartbreaking than like you threw it out, you're sifting through a landfill, because you already know that's like a needle in the haystack. Whereas the other guy has it. It's his fault he can't remember it. So like it's just eating at him.
It's just taunting at him, it's there and just complain, like it's
a life-changing amount of money that he has in his hands, but he cannot use.
If he ever does get that, it is going to be a fucking wild ride for him.
Oh yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
Would you keep that? Because like Bitcoin's when is that going to peak? Like, would you try and would you sell a lot of it, keep some of it in case it goes up?
I don't know. It's like, well, I mean, it's the whole point of investments and stuff like that. It's very much gambling. It's kind of like the Beanie Baby craze back in the 90s, where people were just like buying them up, hoping that they would appreciate and again with the internet, there's photos from like divorce proceedings where
splitting
the couple are splitting up the Beanie Babies, and it's like, cool. It was that important to them now, and you look at Beanie Babies now, they're worthless.
Yeah,
they're
novelty thing.
Yeah, they're just dolls at this point, and it all depends on how much you're willing to risk. Like with Bitcoin, I am in the camp that I'm fine with it, falling and climbing and shit like that, but there's a threshold of where you go, I could use that money for something.
Yeah. Like with that guy, say he remembers the password, just like wakes up one day from like a drunken stupor and just it's in his brain now.
It hits him.
I would probably, if I was in his shoes, I would sell like, I don't know, 6,500 Bitcoin, and I'd keep the rest just as a let's see what happens. Because like, just quick math here, 6,500, even just generalization, that's like $39 million.
Yeah,
that's more than enough for me. Like, even if the rest of it just immediately drops to like only being worth like a dollar, I don't care. Yeah. But like, if say it keeps climbing, say it's worth $100,000 in like 2 years, that 700 Bitcoin, it's worth a lot more.
Yeah,
fuck it, why not?
But you get a good foundation with selling off that first bit that you're comfortable for the rest of your fucking life.
Exactly.
Like, yeah. Yeah, and like maybe it's just that adrenaline rush of just holding on to it, seeing it rise and fall that you're just like a fucking a junkie fiend for adrenaline and the wild ride that is the stocks or whatnot. And it's like yeah, it could be the way that some people get off essentially.
But I mean, like, if you have $40 million, just go to a casino. It's the same thing.
Yeah,
Like,
just
take 50 grand to Vegas,
stick it
blow
on
it all
double
in a
zero.
night.
Yeah, stick it on
Yeah,
double zero, and you get
if it hits, great. If not, you don't care. I mean, if you do it every day, you'll start to care eventually.
yeah. But oh yeah, I could never understand like day trading and all that kind of stuff because
No,
like it is fucking nuts.
yeah, it's too much work. Like, especially like you in school, like you don't got time to follow what's up swinging, what's down swinging. Like, shit, even I don't have. Well, I have the time. I just don't care.
And it's even like stuff like Bitcoin. It's like everyone talks about it. It's a cool concept and everything like that. But I'm in the camp of I don't care.
Yeah, like that's the thing. Even like with stocks and shit, like it seems foreign to me to like spend money that I have on something that is not tangible in hopes that it will give me more money back. It's essentially just imagination.
Yeah, and those people like who collect stuff too. It's like when people bought toys back in the 90s and stuff like that, hoping that they'd appreciate in value. And it's like I buy toys because I want to play with them.
Exactly.
Like everyone's like, oh no, it's got to be mint inbox, never played with. And it's like that kind of defeats the purpose of a toy.
Yeah. I mean, like that's like collectors things are different than that for me because like it is something tangible. Like like comic books for one thing. Like you could still read them as long as you're careful with them, but like a fairly decent condition Spider-Man #1 is worth a lot of fucking money. That's another thing that's crazy, just how something that didn't like was not worth like what was it,
Anything like
10 cents,
yeah,
25 cents back in the day, now worth like hundreds of thousands of dollars.
and it's just all because of what what a couple of people will pay for it.
It's like what it's worth to like one or two people.
Yeah.
That is insane. I don't like it, Jason. I don't have money for things like that.
We just need to come up with an idea that someone's going to buy or want, really, really want. Like the brobe.
The brobe. I will make that one day, and it'll be glorious.
Oh, yeah.
Sort of homoerotic.
Well, it's not gay because the brobe says so.
Exactly. Can't be gay.
Yeah. It's just two bros hanging out,
Exactly.
5
Connected
feet
at the dick.
apart. Connected at the dick.
We say no homo, so you don't have to. The brobe.
And then we'll shoot
We still
it.
have to make that.
Yeah, we'll shoot it. We'll shoot it in those like late night infomercials, like the Snowy style, and
I don't even know how that came up in conversation. I don't remember.
I don't remember it either, and it's just something that just sticks in your mind, and it's like
I think it was like me and Ray and probably you, Matt, and Dan were just kind of like hanging out, and me and Ray were having our own conversation. It ended up with the brobe.
yeah, and it's weird, but like these fads and these things. I assume that's how the Snuggie came to be.
Absolutely.
Like someone thought it's like, what if my blanket had sleeves?
Yeah, like someone who like didn't like that they couldn't use their arms and stay warm. It's just like something that nobody thinks of because it's stupid.
Yeah, and it's like one of those things. And he's like, you laugh about it. It's like, oh, okay, that's a funny idea. And then someone goes, no, we can really do this. And
Yeah, like even though it's like not a good idea, there is always people who are like, that is stupid. I'll buy 3.
Yeah. Or it's like yeah, like like those workout machines and stuff like that, like the shake weight and stuff. It's like what? Like who in their right mind really like thought of that was a great idea? Like oh okay.
I don't know, man.
Oh, what was it? There was another one. There was another machine because like the shake weight, you hold in your hands and it works your muscles or whatever. There's
And
another
you jerk
one
it.
where it's like it's a pole that you use to squat with. Like,
Oh yeah, I saw that one.
like you have this pole up basically up your ass, and you just squat and it helps you push back up or something like that. And it's like
It has like a seat on it and it has like a spring, and you basically like do squats like for the resistance, I guess.
yeah, and it's like who thought of that? Like
Someone saw the success of the shake weight and we're like, there's other sexual positions that people get tired doing. Let's make something to fix that.
oh, it's just yeah. I'm just trying to think of like, what else. What else? I guess like a contraption that holds you in like a missionary position or something, like you're doing crunches. Uh,
Hey, we can make it.
yeah, we could. Let's trademark it right now. All right.
Patent pending.
Yeah.
Patent pending.
Yeah.
Don't release this until we figure this out.
Well, I'm gonna release it anyways, and if we see anything like that within the next 5 years, we're coming to sue your ass.
Yeah. Sue you.
Yeah. It was our idea. Man, it's like, it's just it's surprising to see how mediocre of an idea can be, put into such a weird space in reality. Those late night infomercials.
Like, but I mean, some things that seem mediocre at the time turned out to like evolve into something more. Like Amazon used to you could only get books. Just buy books from Amazon. That's all they did. And now the juggernaut that is Amazon can't be stopped.
Yeah. And they'll find whatever is selling on their platform and then rip it off.
Exactly. What are you gonna do?
There's not much you can do.
Just don't put your products on Amazon.
Exactly.
But like, it's crazy how something that started out so like Amazon back in the day could not have been making a lot of money just selling books.
No, I don't think so. Like the idea to expand it all to include other things was probably the point of becoming a marketplace was
Yeah.
what really kicked it off. Because I do remember when Amazon used to be just for like your Kindles and like your e-readers or something like that, to just get the books to read off of that. And then all of a sudden we fast forward to today, and people are buying dildos and socks and shit like that off of.
You could buy anything, electronics, the clothing, kitchen appliances, like anything like that.
Yeah,
Buy
and
fucking
like
anything.
you can get it dropped off at your house, and it's because they have the logistics behind it all to deliver these goods to your place. And yeah, and to think back like early 2000s, late 90s, it was Amazon was an e-reader.
Mm-hmm. So maybe the brobe can take off.
And it'll be everywhere.
Everyone's gonna want a brobe.
Yeah.
You, your grandma.
There's gonna be a brobe in every hotel room.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Matching brobe through the wall, so you can feel connected, even though you're alone.
Even though you're alone and by yourself, there's a brobe into the other room, so you can put it on. And someone else in the other room puts it on. And just hold each other for a little while.
So fucking dumb, but I love it. Oh, fuck.
Yeah. Oh.
I
Let's see. All right. Well.
took my phone case off, and it's just disgusting.
Yeah, I noticed that too when I clean my phone every now and then, and I'll open it up and it is just like greasy and like there's just dust and debris and stuff like that all into
Mine's
it.
full of sawdust.
Yeah. All right. I am kind of brain dead, so
Yeah, same.
we're just gonna call it quits here, and yeah, we'll cut it short there.
Sounds good.
Good, cause yeah,
This was last second anyway.
last second. I'll probably we'll figure out something else, and hopefully we will be a little bit more planned next week, and
Hopefully.
actually have something decent. But yeah, this is just us scrounging up a short little podcast here. Thanks for joining me, Sylvan, and we will catch ya. We'll catch you all next week.
Bye.
Bye, guys.